So the doctrine of signatures loosely states that foods that resemble body parts can usually be used to treat or to improve the function of those body parts. In the case of Iskiate de Sangre, we see it is good for the blood in the heart. Mangoes also good for the heart. I wish I had a full mango here. They have, other than the vitamins and nutrients in here, they have a compound that is under investigation for reducing inflammation of the heart. And one of the problems with extreme cardio is the occurrence of heart attack. Walnuts are high in omega-3s and other fats, and so they are good for the brain. As you can see, it resembles a brain. Ever heard the term apple bottom? This one's a little lopsided, but I'm sure you get the picture. There's ingredients in here that burn belly fat and also balance the pH of a female's organs through estrogen-like compounds. And so these Brazil nuts, with any logical guess, one could arrive, these are good for testosterone production because these have the highest amounts of, I believe it's selenium and chromium. Both of them are precursors for testosterone production. So, the doctrine of signatures.
Okay, just to clarify, this was the old way that I did things when I first started making them. Now I add a 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt, and I add 1 full lemon. First thing I do is I juice the lemon and the lime into an empty cup, and I use a spoon to fish the seeds out. Whereas before, I would have to deal with the dilemma of getting seeds in the chia. But now I mix the citrus and the salt. I swirl the cup around until most of the salt has dissolved. Then I add with the plastic measuring spoon, I add that much sangre mix. I mix all that. Then I add the chia seed. Oh, I'm showing how I cut the lime. Keep your thumb on the blade so you don't go all the way through, and then just core it out. This is how I do limes, not lemons. Lemons, I chop them in half. And from there, you can squeeze half of the lime if you want and save it for later. Same thing works with the lemon, but lemons are best squeezed if you cut them in half. This is my breakfast every day.
Alright, let's try the best with this camera angle. This is how I make my Sangre mix. Now, first thing I start with beet powder. This is for vasodilation through nitric oxide. Okay, I get a tablespoon, level, we do 1, 2, 3. This is the main ingredient to the Sangre mix. Now, my next favorite, saw palmetto. It's very important that you get these ratios correct. Beets to saw palmetto, because if you have too much saw palmetto, this will taste like absolute vomit, like 100% vomit. I'm not like as if you were to vomit the food up and then get it stuck in your throat, and it's what it tastes like. So be very careful with this one. However, saw palmetto is my favorite ingredient. We're gonna go with about, I should have had a teaspoon with me. So we're gonna go about 1/3 of this. About 1/3. So you're gonna go 3 tablespoons and 1 teaspoon of saw palmetto. Now, from here, I'm adding a new ingredient to this mix. Cordyceps. See, it's unopened. It wasn't in there last time. So this is, again, this recipe is, you can customize it to your personal needs. But the basis of it, beet powder, saw palmetto. A 1/3 of a tablespoon. About 1 teaspoon. This is actually more than a teaspoon. But 1 teaspoon of cordyceps. Now, I'm going to add maca. Again, add these ingredients incrementally, because a lot of people report maca giving them headaches. And that's probably just the detoxification process. This one shouldn't cause any headaches. Ceylon cinnamon. It has to be Ceylon. The other variety of regular cinnamon, has more toxins in it. You can use this for medicinal, like external use though. So, Ceylon cinnamon. ¼ teaspoon. Next up, ginger. Ground ginger. Next up, turmeric, the golden root. And the one you have to be very careful with, but a very good one, is cayenne pepper. Pure cayenne. You have to make sure in the ingredients that it doesn't, it doesn't, if you want to add paprika, you just make sure it's pure cayenne pepper. And you can use cayenne pepper externally as a coagulant, as a clotting agent. Not a 1/4 teaspoon like I almost did, but half. You want about 1/8 of a teaspoon of this. A heavy 1/8, not a light 1/8, a heavy 1/8. In my previous mixture, I had cocoa in there, like chocolate. But I ran out, so that'll go in eventually. And this is your Sangre mix, because it's very good for the heart and the blood and circulation. And yeah, I have other ingredients that I would like to add, but for now, this is all that I'm doing.
And you can see here some of the other ingredients that I would like to add in time. Other ingredients that I may or may not have taken. Just a preliminary search on Amazon. I've not heard of Rukongrong or Sistanchai deserticola, but I'll look into it, right? In terms of the yohimbine, the foti, pine pollen, mucuna, tongkat, trib, ginseng, and epimedium, I like all of it. As you can see here, $193. It does get expensive, but one thing you have to realize when you buy these ingredients individually in the amount that you'll be purchasing them in, all of this will last you a year or two. And so if you spend $300 to $400 on supplements up front, you get 2 years, a year, 2 years worth, and you can customize your exact blend. Certain ingredients will affect people differently for multiple reasons. Everybody's terrain is different, but there are actual ingredients like ashwagandha, which I forgot to add here. Ashwagandha is what's called adaptogenic, and it can read a person's biology and see what they're lacking, see what they're needing, and adapt to that person's body, meaning it literally affects everybody differently. It reacts to people differently. And so this is one of the ways that you can increase your experience with herbal medicine.